You've got a new arm on the mound for the Cropdusters. It's Gavin Lill, a senior from Millersville University. He'll deliver to Brennan Wright. The first pitch is a ball. We apologize for the stream cutting in and out. We have a spotty connection out here in Olney. We're trying to use the Wi-Fi from the press box. We're all the way down the third base line. So when the connection drops, so do we. Slider is in there for a strike to Wright, who is 2 for 3, hit by pitch and a pair of singles. Lill pats the glove and fires for a strike. Lill comes set in a strange position, at least from the windup. He has his right arm cocked near his ear and then steps, kicks, pats the glove, and then heads home. That pitch way high, taken by Wright to even the count at 2 apiece. Brennan Wright, contact hitter like you read about, and he puts the ball in play for a base hit. Sends it into left field, goes the opposite way for another leadoff single.
Yeah, all it takes is just a couple hits and a couple walks, and then the big hit will come. The Big Train have been out hitting the Cropdusters 9-5 today. It's just been the errors and the runners left on base, which have cost the Big Train the lead here. But they did score 8 runs in the late innings yesterday, so this game still far from over.
Yeah, if baseball was a raw output contest, I think both games might go Bethesda's way, but it's been stringing things together both yesterday and tonight that the Big Train have struggled with, and that's something that will come. That's something that won't desert them forever. That's fouled back by Corbin, who's now down 0-2. But no team strands double-digit runners on average throughout a season, and certainly not a team with an offense like the Big Trains. The lefty Corbin facing Lill. The 0-2 upstairs, and it kicks out of the glove of Cook, but he'll find it before Brennan Wright has a chance to go anywhere. Lill shakes no, then yes. Offers a hearty grin towards home plate. And delivers a breaking ball that clips the knee of Parker Corbin. He's favoring that right leg, heading down to first, but as he gets closer, the steps get more regular. He's walking it off. And John Martinez steps on up.
And these are the powerful hitters coming up. Martinez, Gonzalez, and Skoronski. Between those 3 players, they only have 1 hit apiece in this game. But if there's any group of hitters to get some powerful hits and put some runs on the board to get the Big Train back into this game, it's those 3, and they have 2 runners on with nobody out.
Yeah, and this guy Martinez was 3rd on Florida Atlantic's baseball team in batting average among qualifiers. He takes that pitch for a strike. He posted 7 games in a 57-game season with 3 or more hits. That pitch is fouled back. He's down 0-2. Still nobody out in this top of the 8th. Martinez up, Gonzalez due. Then Skoronski lurking in the hole. Martinez grounds it towards the shortstop. Hawkins Field shovels to Fry. The throw to first, not in time. Martinez beats the wrap and evades the double play, so it'll be runners at the corners with 1 down.
Batting the first baseman, number 45, from Florida Atlantic University, Emilio Gonzalez.
Yeah, he hit that one hard. Nice turnover there from Hawkins to Fry, but Martinez with some blazing speed out of the box avoids what would have been a costly double play.
We've seen, especially at the top of the lineup, guys like Wright, Martinez hustled out of the box, and it's come up big multiple times for the Big Train in this game. And those are the plays that you want to show a young kid playing baseball. It's like, hey, watch John Martinez beat this ball out, avoid the double play, and now you've got first and third still just one out. And if this turns into a big inning, you'll have Martinez to thank. Gonzalez lines it foul. Got a lot on that. It sails over the head. Galvin Morris coaching third base. Gavin Lill chats with his shortstop, agrees as to where the ball will go if the ball comes back to him. Now comes set and delivers. Martinez takes off. It's inside. The throw goes down to second base. The tag, not in time. Martinez showing off the wheels, running out of play at first and stealing a bag at second.
Yeah, when you're down 6 runs in the 8th, you got to be aggressive. I normally like to be aggressive. That was almost a little too aggressive for my liking, but hard to play with Martinez, who gets there with a stolen base, and now a single can push to a cross.
Lill finds himself in a spot of bother facing Gonzalez, who takes ball 3. And now, this is a count you love to see Emilio Gonzalez in. 3-1. Chance for a big hack, but with first base open now, may see Lill nibble a bit around the zone. He throws it in there. It's flown into deep left center, but it's going to hang up in the air. Will fall down into the glove of Scott. Runner at third right tags. So does Martinez. And they're both safe with the throw being cut off. That'll score a run. Gonzalez with a sac fly.
Now batting the right fielder, number 39 from Winthrop University.
Yeah, it's 4 runs now for the Big Train in 4 separate innings. They've actually scored in more innings than the Cropdusters have. Cropdusters had 3, then 4, then 2 in alternating innings. For the Big Train, it was 1 run in 3 straight innings and 1 run in the 8th. It's just been that lack of a big inning so far.
I mean, 2 outs have been where the Cropdusters have shown today. See if the Big Train can do a bit of the same with Skaronski at the dish. He takes a healthy swing and gets nothing but air on the fastball from Lill. This inning getting a bit longer. You might be able to hear James Gladden throwing a weighted ball into the wall. That pitch is low, goes to the backstop, bounces away down the first base line, and coming in to get it is Stalker. He will keep Martinez at third. Martinez stopped and started, then stopped again. I mean, because that ball took a crazy hop off the backstop.
Yeah, the ball kicked behind the catcher. So Martinez started to go. Then it came back to the pitcher, so he stopped. Then it got behind the pitcher, so he started to go again. But then ultimately some good backup for the first baseman, Stalker. You don't really see a first baseman backing up a wild pitch too often.
Yeah, that is great awareness from the first baseman. Probably saves a run. Skaronski shatters the bat as he rolls it towards second. Fry has to come in, shovels the first, beats out Skaronski by a step. Nice play by Fry, and that'll keep the Big Train scoring in the inning at 1 on 1 hit. They'll leave a runner on base as we go to the bottom of the 8th, 9-4, Olney. James Gladden worked out of some trouble in the last inning, and that earns him a second chance at things. Out for frame number 2, facing Tyler Cook, Austin Stalker, and Zakai Hawkins. Cook watches strike 1. He is 0 for 3 with a pair of flyouts, a hit by pitch, and a pop out. Cook stands with feet close together, the bat bent down over his back, where the number 8 is displayed. That slider is outside, ball 1. Cook from Troy University calls Glenwood Landing, New York home. Leaves it low, 2 balls and a strike.
I don't know where that area of New York is. If anything other than New York City, I just assume that it's in upstate New York. However, if you say that to someone from the suburbs around New York City, they get pretty upset if you call them from upstate New York.
I think the third option might be Long Island, because my New York geography is also poor. I think it's, for me, it's a 50-50 shot. I'll either guess Long Island or upstate New York, and with my luck, I'd probably be wrong. You know what? We've got a magical thing called the internet. I'll look up between innings. I'm going to put my money right now on Long Island. What say you?
I'm thinking upstate.
All right, we'll find out where Glenwood Landing is. And if anyone from Glenwood Landing is listening, we're very sorry. The 3-1 coming to the pride of Glenwood Landing is outside for ball 4.
Next, the first baseman, number 16 from Westchester University.
Oh, and now I wish I'd put some money on it, because Quincy is showing me Glenwood Landing right in the middle of Long Island.
Yeah, it's right there, northern part of Long Island. Yeah, good job, Jackson. You missed the Marist Red Foxes yesterday. You said Red Wolves, so you're 1 for 2 so far.
Yeah, 1 for 2 on assumptions. So hopefully we can bring that average up. You want the assumption average to look more like a free throw shooting percentage than a batting average.
Well, I agreed with you on the Marist one, so I'm sitting at 0-2.
We'll get that up together, Quincy. The 1-0 from Gladden is outside and high. 2 balls, no strikes to Austin Stalker, who made a nice play defensively that will go unmarked in the box score, but probably saved a run in the moment, flashing in on a ball that kicked off the bricks behind home plate to keep Martinez from advancing to home. 2-0, swinging a foul off the dirt into the backstop. Stalker fouled out twice in his first 2 trips, but then found his swing, singled to drive in 2, and then worked a walk and came around to score on a pair of passed balls. Gladden's slider is high that time, and now he's got to erase a 3-1 deficit in the count. Big Train bullpen swirling around, now a bit more active. Big lead at first for Cook. He stays put, and Stalker takes ball 4. Second inning in a row that Gladden has walked the first 2.
From the University of Utah, Zakai Hawkins.
Hawkins, he's walked twice, flown out, and grounded out. Scored 1 run hitting in the 5-hole today. The first pitch to the Ute is just high and inside. And we've seen pitchers walk batters where they're just missing by miles. But James Gladden has just been achingly close on so many deliveries and just has not gotten the calls. That one is in there for sure. Slider down the middle, 4 strike 1.
Yeah, Gladden with 11 strikes to 22 balls, but it's worked so far as he's yet to give up a run.
And he's still a ground ball away from finding himself in not too bad a spot. But he hits Hawkins here and loads up the bases with nobody out.
Batting next, the third baseman, number 37 from the University of Richmond, Angel Santiago Cruz.
And Gladden takes a walk behind the mound, takes a deep breath, and steps back up to the hill. And again, just have to limit here. 5 runs in the 9th is not impossible, but if you give up too many more, it begins to look pretty bleak. We saw a 5-run inning in the 8th yesterday, helped by the Panett Grand Slam. That pitch is called strike. Santiago Cruz 1 for 4 on the evening. The sky is well and truly black now. We're well into the night. That ground ball goes up the middle towards the second baseman right. Shovels to Martinez, goes over. It's double play. The run will score, but 2 runners erased in the doing. Big double play induced by Gladden, and now 2 dead.
From the University of Notre Dame, Jaden.
Yeah, Santiago Cruz pushes across a run, but he will not get credit for an RBI after the double play.
That's just one of those bookkeeping oddities that you get used to. Someone had to come up with that. I'm sure it's because just the value of 2 outs overrides the value of driving the run in, so not worth the RBI.
Yeah, it wouldn't really be productive if you're in a spot where that could happen. You're in a spot where you would ideally like to score multiple runs.
Gladden finds the zone, evens up the count at 1-1 to Jaden Knight. Knight has a runner on third. That's Stalker, and there's 2 outs in the inning. Takes a pitch just low. Brennan Wright liked it over at second base, gives Gladden a word of encouragement, but the umpire disagrees with the Mississippians' assessment. Fly ball right center field. Ott on the run makes the catch. Reeling it in just shy of the track, and 1 run comes across for Olney. They lead 10-4. Last gasp for Bethesda when we return. One more chance for Bethesda. Had a huge late inning comeback last night. Can they do it again? The hero of the hour on opening day is at the plate right now, Logan Panett. He's facing Gavin Lill, whose first pitch of the inning is a strike. Lill conceded 1 run in the 8th, but stopped before more damage could be done. Now just has to avoid giving up a 6 spot to wrap up a second straight win for Olney. That's cracked into center field, but it's right at Scott, who retires Panett.
Batting next to left fielder, number 28, Matthew Wesley.
Up steps Matthew Wesley, who's walked twice, singled, and lined out to Scott. Can the left fielder get the rally started? He takes the first pitch high. Gavin Lill, the only hurler, is animated out there on the mound. Looks like he's having fun, you have to say. has offered a big smile after some pitches, some histrionics. He asked the umpire if that one was down. He says yes, and it's now 2-0. Big Train hoping to make it a little less fun for the Millersville product, Gavin Lill, as he throws the third ball in a row to Wesley. He's way in a hole. That one's in there. 4-1. The Olney dugout getting loud as they're just 2 outs away from a 2-0 start to their Cal Ripken season. That's ball 4, though. Third walk of the day to Wesley and the 6th of his young season.
Yeah, 3 walks today, 3 walks yesterday, had a single. The only time he's even been retired so far in the first 2 games was a fly out to center field back in the 7th.
Here's a fun fact. Matthew Wesley has walked 1 less time through 2 games than I did all of my senior season of high school. I was a free swinger, we'll say that. It didn't always work out for me.
You see, me on the other hand, I did not have the pop to really drive balls into the gap, so I would take my walks whenever I could get them. Real big OBP guy.
I think if my dad's listening right now, he'll say, yeah, you did take only 7 walks in a full season. That is not, it's not a point of pride. Gotta have a good eye up there, and I did not. That's why I no longer hit. But Dylan Murphy does, and he swings and fouls it off. The count is 1-2.
I would compare my play style to Pete Carr Armstrong before he got good at hitting. Just a lot of really good defense, a lot of really good speed, a lot of stolen bases, and like a below average hitter. But not this year. He's been crushing the ball.
Dylan Murphy trying to crush the ball, too. He'll face a 1-2 from Lill. Big breaking ball is left high. That one kind of popped out of the hand, easy for Murphy to spit on. He's found himself on first base 4 times today. A pair of fielder's choices, those weird 9-6 fielder's choices. I mean, he could have earned a base hit, but bad luck on both those. That's chopped to the middle. Hawkins to second. Over to first from Fry. Double play, and that's the ball game. The Cropdusters win 10-4 in the second game of this Cal Ripken League.
Yeah, just an unlucky night for the Big Train. You look at the hit column, 10 hits for the Big Train to only 5 for the Cropdusters, but ultimately just some tough luck. 1 really unlucky error and 6 unearned runs with 2 outs. It was just the Big Train just really – it was hard for them to really get out of an inning in this one. They put up a good fight, and, you know, you mentioned this earlier, Jackson. If this was a pure outcome game, Big Train probably the winners. Over the course of 40 games, I think that's going to even themselves out. I don't think there's really too much cause for concern with the Big Train starting 0-2.
Yeah, through their first 2 games, 17 hits. They've drawn a total of 17 walks, so 34 base runners through 2 games. I mean, that's going to put you in good places more often than not. And this pitching staff is not going to keep giving up double-digit runs. There's a lot of talent in the arms, in the bullpen, and the starting rotation, and they're going to find their groove sooner rather than later, and we hope it comes tomorrow against the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, 2 more road games for the Big Train before they're back at home for a 10 a.m. Sunday game. Ideally, they take those last 2, get back up to 500, but like I said, they started last year off slow. They had a losing record in June, but they were able to rally in the month of July. Ultimately, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, unless you start really poorly, which I don't think is in this team.
Yeah, I mean, 2 straight losses happens to every baseball team. It seems a little worse because it's the start of the season, but at the end of the day, you mentioned it earlier in this game, but there were a lot of times throughout the early part of last year that a Cal Ripken champion Bethesda Big Train team was below 500. There's 38 games left in the campaign, and we're excited to be with you for the rest of them because this team's going to turn the ship around very soon. We'll be back on the air at Silver Spring Tacoma tomorrow. It's a road game. I believe that start time is 5:30. You can tune in right here on the Big Train Baseball Network. We'll be right back with you. For tonight, the final lines were 4 runs on 10 hits, 1 error committed by the Big Train, 10 runs on 5 hits, no errors by the Cropdusters. Tough loss for Bethesda, but they're right back in action again against the Thunderbolts, 5:30 tomorrow here on the Big Train Baseball Network. We thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.